Hello, students, and I am here answering a question about Benadryl or diphenhydramine. This question says, I am an insomniac and all the sleep medication that I've been prescribed have eventually had no effect on me. So this is like a patient talking to me as a nurse. I built a tolerance to them. It's a dangerous thing because I don't have to take lots and lots of all sorts of sleeping pills. That's unsafe. I heard that Benadryl might be a good alternative. It is currently having an impact on me, but will I eventually build a tolerance to it? You know, that's a good question. In order to answer this for your patient, what I would say is number one thing, check with your healthcare provider. Never Dr. Google it, right? Like I said, okay. Let's look at the facts on Benadryl and sleeping medications. Benadryl has actually been used to help people with sleeping, nausea, vomiting, and allergies for a really long time since it came out. It's a first-generation drug and a histamine, and we're going to look at that a little bit. Okay. Benadryl, Dramamine, no sleep, anything like that that's going to help you sleep that has the word diphenhydramine in it, same thing, it's Benadryl. Okay. If you've ever had nausea and vomiting, you take a road trip, you take that medication that makes you a little sleepy, that's nothing but Benadryl. It has the exact same ingredients. Okay. If you're taking something like Z's or something to help you sleep, it's over the counter, usually has diphenhydramine in it. Same thing. It's usually non-habit forming, and a lot of them have melatonin added in there. Okay, so number one, it's going to make you sleepy. Melatonin is going to help your natural circadian rhythm, your sleep cycle, so you're going to get the benefits of both. And some of them actually give you tips and stuff about having a lavender spray in the room, spraying your bed sheets with lavender, all kinds of stuff that you can tell your patients. Take a nice warm bath. I wouldn't suggest exercise before bed because it'll actually speed up your heart rate and it'll make you feel good. It'll have these endorphins and stuff added to it. Exercise is really good for you. So I wouldn't suggest exercise. Exercise in the morning or in the afternoon is better instead of right before you go to bed. Okay. So those are things that might help you sleep a little better if I'm talking to my patient. But number one is check with your healthcare provider. You can give over-the-counter Nozes or ZQL or something like that, or you can get a Benadryl. That's fine, but always follow your doctor's recommendations only, right? Okay. It can make you sleepy if you take it, or an increased sleepiness if you take it with other medications, such as anti-anxiety, another sleep medication, something like lorazepam, anything that makes you sedative, pain medication. Do not take it with any of those. You need to take it separate on its own, right? So if you're taking any of those medications that I mentioned, it's not a good idea to take Benadryl. 2, why might you ask that? Why do I need to find out if my patient's taking that or not? The reason you need to find out is because it'll increase the sleepy effect on your patient, right? They may not wake up, or they may have a hard time waking up, right? Their breathing is going to slow down. They're going to have decreased breathing. So definitely do not take this with anything else that makes you sleepy, any other sleep medicine, any other pain medicine. Okay. So it's pretty safe, but again, don't take it with other medications. And Dramamine and ZQL and no sleep and all of those, they're the exact same thing. I would suggest, number one, talking to your healthcare provider, and number two, trying something that has the melatonin along with your sleep, over-the-counter sleep medication. Definitely helps. Try melatonin first, right? Try taking a warm bath. Try doing the lavender on your pillows. Something like that will help you. We're going to look deeper into Benadryl, and we're actually going to see a commercial the first commercial about this that actually came out. You're going to see a YouTube video. Then we're going to see what pharmacists say about Benadryl. Enjoy.
I don't wake up running. Command is wrong. Benadryl comes on stronger. It's out there again, waiting. Allergy season. But allergies don't have to be a big problem. Not with fast-acting Benadryl, the most prescribed allergy medication ever.
On a day like today, I used to get sinus pressure and headaches with my allergies. My first reaction was to treat the pain. But now, I relieve the pain and the allergy symptoms that trigger it.
Only Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache gives you maximum strength sinus pain relief, plus the allergy relief of Benadryl's histamine blocker.
It's like having my life back.
Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache for allergies that hurt.
Imagine a day without allergies. Without sinus pressure, headache, and pain. Make it happen with Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache. Unlike the leading prescription allergy medicines that don't have a pain reliever, Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache gives you max.
Okay, so for those of you that can hear me, I am viewing my screen. Now we're going to see a commercial about Dramamine. If I can find a real commercial about it. Okay, let me do some research here. Let's go back. Okay. Here is a pharmacist's perspective on over-the-counter sleep aids.
One time or another, some nights you just can't fall asleep, and there's no shortage of over-the-counter assistance available, but the selection can be a bit overwhelming, so we've asked Paragon pharmacist Brian Jones to give up some of his sleep time to come in early this morning, to come in early and break things down for us. And there are so many different products here, Brian. Are there different categories before we get into the nitty-gritty here?
Yeah, sort of what I've done is I've organized everything to sort of be sort of the pharmaceutical drug-type molecules, mixing in them with the melatonin, and then mixing more into the straight herbal and homeopathic remedies. So, something for everybody as far as sleep aids go.
Okay, well, let's start with the medicinal. I see you have Advil, Nytal, Gravol, Sleepies, Unisum.
Basically, if we cut it off just right at the Unisom and go the other way, those are all basically Benadryl. Benadryl is an antihistamine used to treat allergic reactions. However, it also makes you tired. So what these companies have done is they've shoved Benadryl into these and marketed it as Advil PM. It's got a little bit of painkiller in it as well, so you can't sleep because of pain. That's where the Advil PM is kind of nice. The Nytal, the Gravol, the Unisom, they're all very similar. So if somebody comes up and says, Brian, you know, what's the best one here? I tell them they're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
Let's see what's on sale.
Oh, I see.
Because you know what? From a price point of view, they're all the same. They're all going to work exactly the same. Some patients, of course, have brand preference. If they slept with Unisom before and it worked so well,
they'll stick with it.
They'll stick with Unisom no matter what the price is.
I got a question for you. Just talking about the medicine, any of this habit forming?
For the most part, everything is quite safe in that sense, so you won't go through a rebound insomnia. What I tell patients, if you start taking it on an ongoing basis and you stop it, your brain might say, you know what, I didn't take a pill. I'm not going to sleep.
So it's a mind over
Exactly.
matter.
It's almost like how the Olympic athletes have to train themselves, but it's mind over matter. Sometimes with sleep, you lay there, say, I'm not going to sleep because I didn't take the pill.
Okay.
It's not the case with these ones.
Okay, so moving from medicinal now to the second category.
Exactly. So this is the herbal stuff. So this is the melatonin, which is relatively new to the Canadian market. It's been in the American market for a really long time. For the most part, we market melatonin for people who are on shift change or are working weird hours,
like
working
us.
nights. Exactly,
Yeah,
you guys.
okay.
So sometimes your body doesn't know it's actually time to go to sleep. So all these people, let's say over in London, with the 8 hour or so time difference, melatonin will help just kind of reset that body clock, get you back on track. A relatively safe medication. Used for chronic insomnia, people who can't sleep every night. Not really that great for that because it's not usually a deficiency in melatonin.
Sure, okay. And moving on now from the herbal to the
homeopathic more herbal things. Again, through melatonin, through a mixture of things with passion flower. We got Rescue Remedy. I've got nighty-night sleep teas.
Sleepy
sometimes
tea,
the hot fluid, like the warm milk thing.
Sure.
Just people kind of like that medicinal aspect where they're drinking something makes them feel like they're doing something.
Kind of winds you down.
And it kind of is almost a ritual. In a sense, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you need to avoid caffeine at night. You need to avoid stimulating activity. You need to do all kinds of things to enable your body to actually have a good snooze.
Is that what you call the good sleep hygiene?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, for sure. Good sleep hygiene is just observing all those things. So caffeine, stimulating activities, making sure you've had some exercise in the day, but not within a couple hours of going to sleep. Making sure your room is dark and appropriate.
Okay, guys. Welcome back. We are going to look at the Benadryl commercial.
Maximum strength sinus pain relief, plus the allergy relief of Benadryl.
Let's break Benadryl down and look at that. Look at the components. Give it a minute.
Diphenhydramine is an antihistamine and anticholinergic that's commonly used to combat allergies, insomnia, and cold symptoms. With doses beyond the recommended amount, it can have strong sedating and eventually delirium effects. The experiences it provides are usually unpleasant. The effects of a drug will vary for each user, especially with a hallucinogen like diphenhydramine. So, the most I can do is provide a general overview of the effects. Among the positive effects are music enhancement, muscle relaxation, and vivid hallucinations, though the hallucinations can be negative. The negative effects include delirium, confusion, fear, paranoia, nausea, muscle cramps, dry mouth, increased heart rate, itching, tremors, stomach pain, and inability to communicate, memory loss, impaired coordination, and urinary retention. The dose you use greatly determines diphenhydramine's effects. At lower doses, such as under 300 milligrams, delirium doesn't occur. Instead, it's common to enter a somewhat uncomfortable, sedated, and restless state. Then, generally over 500 or 600 milligrams, delirium can take over. In between those doses, the experience may have some delirium effects and is largely just uncomfortable both physically and mentally. The delirium it produces can result in fully realistic hallucinations, which are often nightmarish and can feature spiders, bugs, phantom people.
All right. So you can see that at extremely high doses, Benadryl, diphenhydramine, has those side effects. But a regular dose, a pill, just one dose is usually 25 milligrams. The most they give is 50 milligrams. Okay. Absolutely allergic reactions, having trouble sleeping. So you're not going to really have those side effects on a regular dose, right? It's non-habit forming. So I hope that has helped answer your questions. Looking at this from a patient and nurse perspective, I appreciate that. Appreciate your viewing this. And if you guys would like to see more, if you have any more questions, you want a topic answer, something like that, send me an invite, book one of my sessions, and I'd be happy to help. Okay. Thank you very much. Signing off. Sayonara.